Hello, everybody. Welcome back to In Our Humble Opinion. I'm Chachi. That's Tom. We're going to talk about last week's games, our teams, the Ravens, the Broncos versus the Ravens, and the Packers played the
Lions.
Lions. Yeah. Oh no, I remembered it. I was just taking my time. All right, let's go. I guess we'll start with the Ravens and Broncos because apparently that was the first one. 1 o'clock. The Ravens were home, which sometimes they play well at home. Tom, what do you think about the game? Good. Give me your synopsis.
Yeah, I mean, I think like they kind of overhyped the map. They overhyped the matchup a little bit.
Oh yeah, they're
I don't
trying.
know, man. Bo Nix is all right. Like they got like Denver's got some pieces. I mean, Sean Payton's definitely able to coach that team up pretty well, but nah, they didn't stand a chance. I don't really know what else to say.
Yeah, it was.
So they just like the Broncos are still like a couple years away from being like super solid, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think their defense is good, but I just think it's different. You have to be able to score against the Ravens to win, and I just think their offense isn't there yet. You can't like this Thursday. We're going to talk about that game. This is today. Well, today it'll be today. It's gonna be a high scoring game because it's gonna be a shootout. You got to score with them. If you can score with them, you're fine. Their defense isn't great. Okay, we know that, and which I hate
That's
because
right.
I'm.
They got Bengals got Khalil Herbert now. You're okay.
Oh yeah.
Ravens are in trouble.
Oh man. Oh, holy shit. I actually like Brown. That guy Brown's really good. I don't know why they don't play him more at running back, but hey, what do I know? Khalil Herbert is he gonna be?
Cincinnati, it makes no sense.
Is he gonna get hurt? Is he gonna get hurt again? Khalil Herbert, not a bad player, but always hurt. He always hurt. That was always his problem. But I think the Ravens' offense looks good, but they've looked good all year. So I'm like, I don't. I mean, there's not much to talk about there. I mean, I would say I saw improvement on the defense, but the plays were there to be had, like Tom said, and Bo Nix missed them. Honestly, that's all I can say. He had them. I mean, the one 4th and 3. Also, though, I want to say Sean Payton. Though I like him as a coach, but this thing I get going for, but some of these coaches, the Ravens, John Harbaugh does this sometimes too. Sometimes just take the points because sometimes you just make your team or punt it, like put them in a your defense in an advantageous situation instead of like, hey, I'm gonna go for it, and when we don't get it, we're gonna be at like the 50-yard line or 40-yard line for this offense when I could have punted it and had them at the 3 and put all the pressure on them, but whatever. I don't know. Sometimes the analytics crap is like really annoying. I'm like, just play ball.
Yep,
It's weird.
1,000% agree. I mean, like, dude, like, yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, sometimes you got to take the points on the road. Like the Lions are kind of one of those teams, though. You think about it, they go for it all the time, and that's just in their nature. But it did like it cost them when it mattered because sometimes
That's
you can't
that's
go
that's
through those
that's what
analytics anymore. You got to use your gut. And
that's what
I
I
think in critical moments,
that's what I was about to.
you got to take the points and play defense and play field
Well,
position.
Tom just nailed it. Like as good as the Lions are playing, that's the thing that scares me about them. You keep doing that, it's working now, but eventually it's going to be like that playoff game. You're going to have the game, and you're going to be doing that for no reason and lose it. They should have went to the Super Bowl last year. They should have been in the Super Bowl. They blew that game because
They
Dan Camp.
probably would. They probably would have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I agree. Dan Campbell literally. I love Dan Campbell. I really do. I'm not saying he should have got fired or anything. I think he's a great coach. That what he does really cost them that. If they kicked those field goals, they would have probably won that. I think they would have won that game because the momentum would have been done. There would have been no momentum for 49ers. You gave them all the momentum because when you were up by 14, you decided to go for it. But I'm like, kick the field goal. Kick the field goal. It's wild. I don't know. I'm afraid. I like how they're playing. We're going to get into them very shortly because the Raven game, like Tom said, wasn't much to talk about. Lamar is probably right now. Lamar is the MVP. I don't care. Stats, whatever you want to look at, he's playing great. I can't say nothing. Every time I watch the games, they're just Derrick Henry really is helping because they just run him and eventually breaks a couple of them. Offense looks good. Defense did show some improvement. The thing I want to give the Ravens defense because I clown them all the time is their run defense is always like it always is really good. You can't really run on them. You have to throw on them. Problem is that scares me because as a team people aren't trying to run on you a lot and they're still running all over you. The pass rush scares me. They're getting no pressure at all. People are picking up the blitzes.
Hey, that's all right. They got
Tre'Davious White.
Tre'Davious White. They'll be okay.
Come on, guys. Now, I don't have a problem with their approach. It usually works, but I'm just like, Tre'Davious White, I'm like, it's just depth, really, and I don't think he's going to play much, if I'm being honest with you. I think he's just going to be like, hey, this guy's tired. Get him in there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe he can be a safety for Eddie Jackson, because Eddie Jackson's, I mean.
Well, I will say Tre'Davious can tackle.
Riding unemployment.
He can tackle, so maybe they're going to do that because he has pretty good hands. So maybe they will do that. Maybe Tom's right. Maybe they're going to be like, hey, you want to play safety? Because Eddie Jackson got healthy scratch last week, so it shows you how much confidence they have in him right now. No offense to Eddie Jackson. You're not having a good year. It's just not your year, bro. I mean, I do like 29. I like Washington. They played him a little more. They played Darius Washington a little more last week. I like him a lot. His only flaw this year has been he just can't catch. But he did get a pick last week. He did catch the ball. So, hey, guy is good in coverage, though. I will give him that. But, yeah, Ravens look good. I mean, not much to talk about. Broncos, I do think Sean Payton's doing a good job. I just think really good D-line, too, they have. They really know to stop the run well. Got a lot of young talent there. But Bo Nix, like Tom says, just got a little ways to go. It's just not quite there yet. He's a young quarterback. I'm not hating on him. All these young quarterbacks, you can see it right now. It's the mid-season point. They're all starting to struggle. Caleb Williams, they're all starting to have a little. Hell, Anthony Richardson messed up so bad they benched him. So I'm just saying. And this crap with that, like, oh, put him back in. He still wasn't playing well. Can we stop? I don't want to get into that.
But, I mean, that's this whole conversation. Like, now the NFL, the way that these quarterbacks, like, they're detrimental to, like, the quarterback play because they put these young guys in there when they're not ready.
Yep.
And
I agree.
Like, it's not just the play, it's also like, hey, maturity as an adult, right? You have to lead men. You're not leading college kids anymore. It's a lot different situation. And I just think, like, I think Bo Nix will be fine. I just don't understand, like the whole Anthony Richardson thing you just get into. It's like, that one, it's like, dude, that guy is a project. And they just rushed him out there. And you can still you can see the talent, but now you're in this weird, awkward space of like, dude, he's super immature and don't get it.
I agree.
And, did you just, how do you really repair that, Trust between him and the team and also the other way around, right? So,
yeah.
But whatever.
Well, I think it wouldn't hurt him to learn. I don't think he's a bust or anything. I just think, like Tom said, he needs to learn. Like, it's okay. The people.
I'm going with he was way overpicked.
Well, I agree with that. I totally.
Why he was a top 4 pick.
I totally agree with. I agree with that.
He did nothing in college to ever show you that he was worthy of that. He just was in the underwear war, and someone got it. They were like, "Oh, Cam Newton 2.0." That's all it was.
No, he's
That's
not.
literally all it was. And he does. He has incredible athletic talent. That's not what I'm.
Yeah, but that's quarterback.
Between his ears, he looks like Tarzan. He plays like Jane. So, and it's shown time and time again.
Oh no, I agree with you. That at most like a 4th to 5th round pick should have been him. Like, but that's fine. Like you said, he did well at the combine. You know how that goes. Okay, so let's go to the next game because that one went well.
We go to the Packers?
Yeah, I think
ready for me to unload?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you unload because Tom's got something. Let me get to the game real quick. Go ahead, start.
Honestly, I'm not really gonna unload because here's the thing: Green Bay outgained Detroit in yards, like just a lot of categories. The fulcrum or the tipping point of the game was in a 2-minute drive when
I need water.
Okay, I'll get that for you. Sorry, guys,
He needs water.
Commentary. Yeah.
Stay hydrated.
I don't have child abuse live on
Stay
YouTube.
hydrated. Important. Hydration. Good father of the year. Give him a medal.
Father of the year. Woo!
He gives his kids water. He's a good kid.
Guys, the iPad's down today, so this is like precious time of like, okay, this could go bad and south really quick. It won't though. I have firm belief in my son. Anyways, dude, you can see Green Bay's talent. What they stink at right now, and again, everyone keeps saying we're tired of hearing this, but this is reality. They are the youngest team in the NFL again, and they're younger than last year. They actually got even younger at the trade deadline when they let Preston Smith go.
Yep.
Okay? They're very, very young, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have not, you see guys, they're not finishing. And it's kind of similar at times to last year, but what you're seeing is the talent matured a little bit from just the development cycle last year. Remember, growth is not linear. That's the thing people got to understand. They are going to go through, like right now, what they're learning the hard lesson of. You cannot shoot yourself in the foot against elite teams. They did it last year in San Francisco. They did, they've done it against Philly. They did it against Detroit. Big time. They did it against Minnesota. Like, you can't do those things. And a lot of it, honestly, so number one, the Jordan Love, like, that play was boneheaded. I don't know what he was doing. At some point, that's got to stop. Like, he's got to understand. He almost made another boneheaded pick where he's running around and he's throwing it out of bounds is perfectly acceptable. Like, someone like that, if he forgets, like, man, when he was really, like, last year when they went on that win streak, he had 18 touchdowns, 100.
Uh-oh. Tom cut off. Hello.
I don't know how to be any clearer. Like, it's different when you're taking a shot and, hey, the defender makes a good play. There are 4 picks this year I can say are just like, I don't know what you're doing. And that's not good. Like, even Brett Favre, I could say, at least some of his picks, like, yeah, he was trying to squeeze it in there. These ones are just like, you're running around, you just think you can flick it, or it's on. So, it's going to kill him. And it did this week. So I don't know when the lesson sinks in for Gordon, but that's a problem. And that, like, I would say that's first and foremost. That's got to get cleaned up. He's got to get healthy. I do think that I highly question why Matt LaFleur didn't start Malik Willis because of how well they ran the ball on Detroit. They didn't need Malik to do anything special because Jared Goff sure didn't do anything special in this game, and he didn't have to. The other piece is like the penalties and the drops. Again, those are all, like, what's crazy is for Green Bay, all these things are in control. The real question is this who they are this year, and are they going to get out of it and figure it out? We'll see. But, like, I don't think anybody's going to question their talent and, like, that they can compete. But at some point, they got to take that step. I don't know when it is, And we'll find out. It might be a frustrating long year. Again, they're just a really young team. I don't know what else to say. Like, this is sometimes what is to be expected. But that's it. That's all I'm going to say on my pedestal because there's not really much else to say.
I agree with Tom. I think they're most of the stuff he said, almost all of it. They're a young team. I think Detroit's rolling too. I mean, they lost their guy he got kicked out of the game, and we had discussed that. I think the hit was really bad. I think he really did try to leave with his helmet, but I don't think Branch should have been kicked out of the game. But I mean, he really did himself no favors. I mean, everybody wants to be all like sugarcoat and everything, but he did just hit the dude in the head with his helmet. I mean, like, let's be honest. Okay. Anyway, point is they were resilient. They play well. Detroit's rolling. Jared Goff's playing well. I don't really care about the MVP thing. So what if he wins MVP, it's great. I don't know. I'm like, whatever. MVP's kind of old. I'm okay with it. They're gonna give it to a quarterback. It's how it works. Anyway, but the thing is, I think Detroit's playing well. I think, like Tom said, Green Bay's really young. They're making some mistakes. He's right. They need to learn how to finish drives a lot. They'll sit there and settle for field goals when they should get touchdowns. But I mean, it's like Tom said, kind of reminiscent of last year, which isn't a bad thing because if they start rolling, you never want to peak real early. If they start rolling like last year, which they had a shot, I don't know if everyone remembers, they were so close to beating San Francisco. And I think if they beat San Francisco, they go to the Super Bowl. Just my opinion, because they showed last year in the Thanksgiving game, they had Detroit's number. So I don't mean to go back to last year, but I'm saying that's a good template. You can move forward like that. Jordan Love cuts down the picks because he's been excellent with playmaking. Like he said, sometimes he makes a play like that pick was awful. I don't know what he was doing. but doing too much sometimes. But he can also progress to that point of last year where, like Tom said, 18 touchdowns, 1 pick. You can see it. The guy's definitely a franchise quarterback that was really good. Their defense is much better than last year. I want to reiterate that. In that game, if you watched it, I see the stats for Jared Goff, but he's 18 to 22 for 145. They were giving him all the little cheap stuff. He they kept holding them. That's why the game stayed close enough. They kept them in the game, that defense. And Jordan Love does look a little injured, though. That's kind of like mobility was kind of cut a little bit, but he'll heal up eventually, so he'll be fine. But I think
The one other thing I want to bring up too, like this is really interesting from like Green Bay's standpoint. The last 6 division games, they're 1-5 at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And well, like Green Bay is not like I don't know what it is, but some of these bad, they're just not a very good bad weather team.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really interesting this like cycle they're going through, and I mean that kind of sucks. Like that's home field advantage is Lambeau Field, right? And yeah, Jared got everyone's point, like hey, the Lions didn't look like a dome team, but honestly they didn't. But I will say this: Green Bay didn't have they weren't really forced to be a dome team.
No, I
Like,
agree.
I would love to see that game on it. Like, that's where I think this is the thing. I think, like, I'll say this: I thought LaFleur got completely outcoached.
No, I agree.
It started with when they had an opportunity to go for it, and they decided to just punt it and play it safe. And they knew they needed to match scores, and it was like 4th and like 3. And I was like, no, man, this is not the game. This is the game you gotta kind of show out, right?
Oh yeah.
I really, really question though. You could have given Love 3 weeks of rest. You could have given Jordan Love 3 weeks of rest. I still believe Malik Willis could have given you as good of a chance.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Yeah, no, I think Malik Willis really would have given you a good opportunity to win. No, it's not. There's no quarterback controversy. It's just Jordan Love when he does. Like clearly, the mobility affects him when he wants to make plays at. Right, and that's kind of even what happened on that screen. He can't move, and he just was like, I hope that what's his face is there. And he kind of just lobbed it up, right? And instead of just throw that thing in the dirt and call it a day. So it's and that's where I think again that coaching staff just got outclassed. It's like, guys, why can't Malik Willis play that game and give you a shot? He didn't clearly he didn't think if they on that first drive, Josh, think about it.
Uh-huh.
If Brooks catches that ball and it's 7-0, it's 7-0. Right? Instead of 3-0. Like that, that's the thing, like I said, you gotta finish, right?
Yeah, no,
There's
absolutely.
an example. You drop the ball, they got in a passing situation because they had a false start. Like, Lord help me, how do you false start at home?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That one boggles my mind.
That's crazy.
I know that the NFL is a lot different than high school and college football, but at home I never false started. So, but look, it is what it is. But
No, yeah, Romeo Dobbs needs to catch the ball. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it.
Romeo, dude, did you see Dontavian Wicks? He's wide open in the end zone, and Love throws him. It's a little bit behind him, but
Gotta catch that.
again, the
Yeah.
ball's wet.
No, you gotta
whatever.
catch that.
Dude.
Gotta catch that.
It's not a ball that you drop. I'm sorry. I'm kind of tired of the thing that sucks with Dontavian Wicks is he keeps getting open. He's wide open. He's a really, really talented route runner.
Make
But
this ball.
just finish a play for me, for the love of God. I don't know how.
Well, I remember. I'm just
He
thinking about.
He reminds me of Devontae Adams in year 2.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's what Devontae Adams did.
It
was so frustrating because you see the talent.
I just remember the play where Romeo Dobbs had that slant and he had yards and just dropped it. It was bad. That's the one I'm remembering too.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to negotiate with a toddler.
Negotiations.
Yeah, Eddie.
Okay. I think Detroit's good. I really do. I think they're gonna be there at the end. The team in the NFC, honestly, that's we could talk about them a little later. I think the Commanders are gonna be really tough this year. I really do. I like the way that team's shaping up. They got a good overall
Yeah,
team.
I mean, and they got Lattimore too. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to say hats off though to Detroit. Like they're definitely they're I still think they win the NFC. Like,
Yeah.
Their window is the next, starting last year, 3 years. They're that good. Even without Aiden Hutchinson, they're the rhythm on offense and just the way their defense plays.
They're so smooth on offense. It's wild, and their defense is very solid.
Yeah, so I really don't want to sound like Green Bay's better than Detroit, but I think Detroit fans will agree. Green Bay's got the talent. They really do. And
well, I want to make.
It's just not clicking.
Well, me and Tom get on here too. People don't understand these division games. You saw it last week with the Las Vegas Raiders. Not this week, but last week the Las Vegas Raiders with the Chiefs. They're not even close to the Chiefs, but they played them close because these division games are tough. They're always tough. These teams know you way more. It's how the Browns beat the Ravens. They know them a lot better than the other teams they play. These NFC teams play the Ravens. What the fuck is going on? You know? What is this? When you prepare for them every week, it's not. You're used to it. It's not. Just everything's a little easier. You know. It's fun. It's fun. But we're gonna go into the rest of the league. We'll go around the rest of the league. Tom, what are your thoughts on anything? We're just gonna go straight into it. I got all the scores up on the thing right here, or they will be up here shortly. There we go. Any thoughts on anything around the league, Tom? You want me to just get into stuff?
You go ahead first.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go through a few things. The Chargers one. I just want to bring that up because the Jameis Winston. He should be starting. Okay, guys, he's a backup. 3 picks. I'm done. I told you last week he should have threw 4 against us. The Commanders, we just talked about them. Looking good. They won 27-22 over the Giants. They look really good. Like Tom said, they added Lattimore, which was a really good pickup. I know he's not the same corner he used to be. He's still really solid. It's a good man-to-man corner. The Saints weren't using them. And by the way, let's talk about them. How do you start 2-0 and now you're 2-7? That is not impressive. Allen got fired, which is that's sad.
Derek Carr's got him fired mid-season twice.
Yep. Derek Carr too. By the way, Derek Carr.
I'll tell you what's wrong with the Saints. They keep spending all this money on these contracts for these old players. They're in salary cap hell, and they just don't have talent.
Well, they can't fix anything. They can't. They're
and I mean they're gonna that's why they moved Lattimore. They're trying to start they got to start clearing the cap. And Dennis Allen, unfortunately, I don't think he was really ever good of a
No, I don't.
Unfortunately, they can't go spend big money on a new coach. So it's just it's tough. They're in a very very hard rebuild.
Yep. And I was hoping maybe the Ravens were gonna get my boy, the Honey Badger, but I don't know if they were trading him because he's been playing solid for him. He's just the team's not good. So and he's old. He could have helped their cap, But anyway, also the Bengals, look out for Joe Burrow's playing really well. Their offense is clicking. Their defense is starting to come around a little bit. I also they won 41-24 over the Las Vegas Raiders. And I want to talk about another team, the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. That was a wild game. Again, I want to stress this because these referees just are not doing a good job. I mean, it didn't matter in the game. I thought that was a reach. The linemen did that on a 2nd and goal. They were going to score. DeAndre Hopkins looked really good. But the way that guy has been doing it for 2 years now, he jumps early. Y'all need to call it. When the Ravens played them in the first game, y'all wanted to call every illegal procedure penalty. Then you didn't see that. I'm like, come on, man. Just fucking be fair. The guy, he's not a good right tackle, and you're just doing that so he has an advantage. Just stop. Throw the flag. Let's go. Come on. But DeAndre Hopkins had a very good first game, and he's calmed down with the Randy Moss thing. Buddy, no. But he did look good, and I think he does help their team a lot. And if they get, I don't know if Hollywood's coming back, That would be a good pickup too, man. I mean, Chiefs are gonna be tough. You got to beat them. That's the problem. They're hard. They're hard to beat. But Baker Mayfield, the reason I brought that up too, Baker Mayfield's playing really well this year. I want to give him his love, man. That guy really having a good career down in Tampa, and I think they found their quarterback. And they're not a bad team. They're really tough, really tough. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, how much do the Browns regret letting him walk away?
Oh yeah, for old Deshaun, like yeah, buddy, I don't know about that.
Well, there's a reason why dysfunction in Cleveland exists.
And I would be remiss if we
what
didn't.
What sucks is Kevin Stefanski's gonna get fired.
Oh yeah.
He's like, and it's like, dude, they can't field a good team because they're so.
Oh no, I think he's a very good coach. I think he'll get another job. He's a good coach. It's just like you said, that owner put them in hell when he made that trade. It was terrible. And the GM, it's like you have no shot. You sold your soul to the devil. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yep.
The Eagles and Jaguars. We got to talk about the backwards hurdle, which is wild. That was crazy. That was crazy. I give Saquon that. That was nice. And he's been playing really well this year. Respect to Saquon. Giants, what are you doing?
When you're on a team that actually knows how to use you.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that team. The Giants, you know what's sad? Their coach is really good. Their defense is really good. Their skill position players really good. They found a good running back in like the 4th round or whatever it was. Problem is, your quarterback's getting paid a lot of money, and he is not worth a nickel of that money. That man is trash. I'm sorry, Daniel Jones. No. Stop trying to make Eli 2.0. He is half of what Eli was. He ain't nothing. Get him out. I don't. And then I'm going to let Tom and me, we're going to talk about right here this Caleb Williams situation. I think he's good. I think the Bears just look out of sync sometimes. It's really weird. He holds the ball too long sometimes. But, again, it's a young team, though. I do like a lot of stuff I see from him, though. So, I mean, I think they'll be okay. I think the expectations this year were a little crazy in the preseason. Like, oh, this team could... They're good, but they're not there yet. They got a ways to go.
Well,
that line's terrible.
This is the typical Bears dysfunction, though, right? This is what's going to happen. They're going to fire Eberflus because, again, the mismanagement of that team is just awful.
It is.
Like, he's a really good defensive mind. Like, their defense has gotten there.
Really good, yes. Really.
But, they shouldn't have lost to the Commanders.
No.
And it's not the Hail Mary the play before.
Yep.
You know, and it's also then you can't hand the ball off to a backup center. Like, that was the dumbest thing
I've
ever. Like,
yes.
What? Just what? Like, no. Stop.
That was dumb, yeah.
You know,
oh, my God.
Like, there's just so many, like, of these, like, critical decisions. You're just like, what are you thinking? Like, right now, you need to, you're not good enough to do some of those things. So, I'm just like, and it's kind of crazy because that's what happened, though, with, like, Justin Fields, right? He got drafted, and then what's-his-face? Matt Nagy was fired. And then who was the other rookie quarterback they had before him?
Trubisky.
Yeah, Trubisky. He had John Fox, and then he was fired. And it's just like, like, it just creates more dysfunction. Like, it's like, okay, so now you're basically just resetting everything. So
No, I agree.
It seems like it's going to go that route. Like, I seriously don't know how Eberflus is going to keep his job. And that's where you just question, like, when you have a pick like that, you need to get coaching staff, everybody set up where you can keep consistency and build it in year one, and just say, hey, we're going to take our lumps, but we're going to do this right.
Well, it's like how the Commanders. It's like how the
in year two when everybody's new. It makes no sense.
It's like how the Commanders did it. They set up everything, got the young quarterback. They got a defensive coach. He's got the defense. The defense is the weak point, but he's coaching them really well. The Commanders' defense has really stepped up a lot. Bobby Wagner, underrated signing because you got a veteran linebacker that can lead the defense for you. All-pro, knows his stuff, right? It's a great signing. Gets everybody in the right spot. Yep. It's a really smart way to do it. And the reason I brought that game up too is, hey, whatever goes on with the Cardinals this year, you got to give them credit. They're a really solid team this year. They're 5-4, man. That is crazy. That is really good.
Dude, the NFC West is kind of wild.
Yep.
Like, it's just jumbled right now, and no one, and like, look, you got the Rams that have gotten healthy.
Yep.
I think Seattle's fading, and they're showing who they really are.
Yeah.
San Francisco, like, don't count them out. Like,
No.
I still don't. I don't think they're that good. Like, I think their window has truly closed, but it's still a team I wouldn't want to play in the playoffs.
Hey, how about Robinson, the Marcus Robinson, though, man? Hey, I am so happy for him. I love the way he played when he was a Raven. That guy's been, what a career. He's just keeping it going, making plays. The guy's clutch, too. Always makes the big catches, man. And Matt Stafford, I mean, you cannot give him time. He will beat you with one arm. I respect that guy.
Well, there's another one, too. Like, all right. Mike McDonald, did you take that from John Harbaugh? Of, hey, let's go for it in overtime.
Yeah,
3 times or 4 times in a row, and if you just play the probabilities of people figure it out eventually. Again, take the points. God, I don't get it. I just don't get it sometimes.
No, I agree with you.
I guess this is why I'm not a head coach. We must have learned that from his predecessor or his mentor, John Harbaugh.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Yeah, don't get me started on the Browns game again. Hey, we went down the field in the first drive. Let's go for it. And then when you go for it, you call the weirdest play with Derek. Never mind. Take Lamar off the field. Yeah, that's smart. Hey, 4th and 1, forget Lamar. We're going to put him, your most elusive athlete, put him on the side. Who can throw? No, forget him. We're giving it to the running back. Yeah, look at us. Never mind. John, good job. Whatever. It's fine. That game's over. I'm over it. What do you mean? Anyway, Patriots, Titans, the reason I want to bring it up, did you see that last play? I got to give Drake May credit. That was nasty. You threw that with like a dude nailing him. That was filthy. I mean, he did that.
Yeah, they might have something there.
Yeah, he looks pretty good. I mean, they got a long way to go, but I'm like, they got pretty good defense. If they can get some offensive skill players and a better line, I mean, they could be. They might have the quarterback. I will say that he is a gamer. He threw the pick in overtime, but that's.
Man, Tennessee's terrible.
They are.
Mike, they're so bad.
They got a lot.
Calvin Ridley's actually not. I've been impressed with him.
Pollard too. Pollard's playing well. He's for having a terrible team around him. He's running all right.
Yeah. Hey, there you go, Jerry Jones. You're so smart. Henry literally wanted to come back there. You probably could have signed Pollard, and you didn't do nothing, and now that's why your team's trash.
Yeah, you could have both of them. You could have literally had both of them, but they don't. You got none of them.
There's a team, man. Dude.
Oh, we're going to them. I'm moving up right now. We're going.
Dude, Mike McCarthy's probably, and what sucks is I don't think he should be fired, because again, it's just Jerry Jones just interferes way too much.
He does. He does.
And
it's
doesn't know what he's doing.
No, he don't. He really don't. He really don't.
Yeah, he needs to figure out how to take a step back.
Yeah. No, 100%, man. And yeah, it's a mess. At least you get to see Trey Lance, see what he's got. Even though you already paid Dak $60 million, so if he ends up being good, I don't know what you're gonna do. Trade him for a first-round pick.
Trey Lance is not gonna ever be good.
No, I agree, but I'm saying, God forbid that happens, then you got more crap to deal with. Hey, we just paid him $60 million. Oh well, I mean, what are you gonna do? Give him back to San Francisco. Hey, you can be back up there and be fine. Anyway, then we got the Texans and the Jets, and oh my God, they win a game, and you're all like, oh, the Texans just without honestly, it looks like Nico Collins is like the linchpin on that offense, because when that guy's there, they're a whole different animal. They're just not playing the same either. It's weird.
Well, it's that, but honestly, the rookie left guard they have is awful.
Yeah, he's not good. No, he's
not. That was bad. Like, that's about as bad as it gets for the NFL. They would have been better off putting a trash can out there and just letting them run through that, because that's about what it was.
Look at Tom.
That's a great. I mean, it's true. Like, I'm not trying to be mean about it. It's like, dude, you can't get bull rushed like that. Like, guards are so important for the depth of the pocket. You can't get walked back to the quarterbacks play after play after play after play. Like, that's all it was. And I'm like, he is just single-handedly just losing them the game, because when they get 3rd and long, they can't do anything. Like, Stroud had under 2 seconds to get the ball out.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, well,
you're right. Like, being down to just Tank Dell is a problem, but I feel like they could have manufactured something, but
But you're right. They don't have
You
any
know,
time.
he
He don't have any
gets-
time either, so he can't really
Yeah.
make any plays when you're getting sacked all the time. Like, it sucks.
Yeah, like C.J. Stroud really likes to step up in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have a strong interior
Yeah.
offensive line.
Yep.
And they don't. Like, you have two guys that are good, but that third guy just makes it so difficult. So, like, you know, Stroud, he's like, he doesn't know what to do. And he's having, you can tell, he's just like, you know, they want, because, like, they want to develop, they're more of an intermediate passing, like,
Yep.
levels, right?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, Teddy, you tell him.
Yeah. I also want to get into the. I want to give Tua credit. He's come back. He's playing well. I mean, but Buffalo just. I will say this. That kick was amazing by Bass. It was awesome. The penalties at the end of games suck sometimes though. I'm like, it's annoying. I'm like, that I don't know if that was PI or whatever, but whatever they called it. I mean, what are you gonna do? It sucks. It's NFL. That's the one thing I don't like. It happens all the time in games. It's kind of the corner's fault, but also like when they're fighting for the ball with the receiver, they never get the call. Like the receiver could just grab them. I'm like, oh, I mean, what is he supposed to sit there and let him like push him? It's weird. Whatever. It got him in field goal range. The guy made a kick that 90% of people won't make, especially him. He wasn't even. His career long was like 58. That dude stepped the hell up. That was good from like 64, by the way. He booted the hell out of that ball. Respect down the middle. Tyler Bass, legend. I gotta give him credit. That was a hell of a kick. He said, "We going home, boys." I just.
In Buffalo, not just
Yeah.
in Buffalo.
Yep. That was crazy. I was like, hey. But I'm not only bringing that up because it's worked for the Ravens too. I even have a problem when it works for them. It's like this thing where the QB just throws the ball up, and I'm like, it's corny. It's like, oh yeah, because the rules. I'm like, fuck out of here. I hate that shit. That is me. Lucky the ball's not even near the guy. It's like, oh, it's a flag because he grabbed it. I'm like, man, but they're both fighting for the ball. Chill out, bro. Like, let them play. I ain't doing this. But yeah, it was a good game though. I'm just giving Tua his credit though. Bills are good. I'm surprised it was that close, honestly. But their defense is a little in the secondary great. But I want to again give him credit because every time I watch him, DeMar Hamlin's not bad. He tackles everyone. He's always in the right spot. He's a really sound player. He's a really good player. I can't make fun of him. Tom, I'm sorry. I've been watching. They dude can play. I don't know. Guy brought him back to be a legend. Okay, listen. I'm glad he's okay though. Honestly, all jokes aside, it's good that he's playing well and doing a good job. Maybe guy just needed his chance. Hey, that's probably what they saw. But they're looking good. Hey, every time I turn on the tape watching them, they're dudes tackling people in the right spot. I don't know what's going on though. People always get hurt, and he is like not like a vicious tackler. I don't know what it is. It's like they just get hurt. Who was it this time? There was one of the running backs. I'm like, damn. Like Tua runs into him with his head. I'm like, eh. But I'm glad Tua's doing okay. He seems to be doing solid. He's playing pretty well. Miami's going to be one of them teams you don't want to play later on because they're not good, but they're like their record and all, but they're going to be tough. For a bad team, they're going to be hard to beat because they're going to have all their people. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You don't want them on your schedule. Buffalo's going to be there. I think they match up better against the Chiefs, surprisingly, than I think the Ravens. That's a tough one for them, honestly. From what I saw earlier in the season, I don't know what they're going to do on defense against them because I feel like Ravens could just run all over them. So, I mean, we'll see though. They do have Amari Cooper now, a little different. Got some receivers. Coleman's really stepping up. That kid, I like that kid, dude. He's going to be good. And Josh is Josh. He makes plays as a great player. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? Guy's a great player. And there, for all you people with young quarterbacks, take it easy. Does anyone remember Josh Allen his first 2 years? He was a mess. And then look at him now. He's a legend. Lamar, his first 2 years, very one-dimensional. Look at him now. The guy's learned. You got to give him time. You can't just throw him to the wolves right away. You can't, yeah, they're not finished products out of the draft, okay? Give him time. Let that pro coaching kick in, man. You know what I mean? Okay, now we're going to do Think Tom Likes, because it's tonight. Game preview, what do you think? Bengals and Ravens, what are we doing? Bengals at the Ravens. They're wearing the purples, Tom. They're wearing the purples. purple rain or whatever the
Should be a
fuck it's called.
No, it should be black. Dude, Prince didn't live in Baltimore.
Bro,
Why don't they do the blackout?
all the all black uniforms are the best. I don't care what anyone says. Put them on. Just put
I don't
them.
know what they're doing, but they're whatever. They're turning in the MLB as we have 17 different jerseys that people can buy.
You aren't gonna convince me if they didn't wear the all blacks last year in the all black jerseys in the championship game. They would have won. They would have won that game. That was why they lost. Purple? We wore
Exactly.
purple? What are you doing?
So
Let me stop.
I will say. I'll say. I mean, I think it's going to be a close game, like you said. The Bengals are fighting for the playoff life, so.
It reminds me of the last time they played. This is big for the Bengals. You're gonna get their best shot. They need it. They need this game to stay in the division race. They can't lose this game. They're gonna throw the kitchen sink at you. They're gonna do everything. They're gonna do trick play. They're gonna try to. It's gonna be tough. Now the Ravens do play well at home at night. That is like their primetime. Ravens are tough. We'll see what happens. I don't know why they play so. When you can catch them at home is when they play 1:00 games because they sometimes just don't care. I don't know. They're weird. It's John Harbaugh. You get 2 a year, where your team just looks like they looks like they didn't practice the whole week. You know. Give Lamar credit too. I got to give him credit. That man missed 2 days of practice last week and just came in like nothing happened, which is pretty impressive. I give him that. But they don't really practice anymore, so who knows? I don't know. But,
Yeah, I mean, it's just the Bengals are going to give you their best shot. Like, that's just reality. So, yeah. Like, and I think it's going to be close. I honestly think the Bengals are going to pull it off because they got to. They don't have a choice. And I just think this is one where, like, John Harbaugh. Yeah. That's my prediction. Nothing against the Ravens. I think they're playing really well. But I don't think it's going to be a shootout like last time. I really don't.
I don't think. I think the Ravens will win, but I'm not real confident in that. I'm not gonna say that. I don't know. It's a division game. I have no idea. They might lose. Who knows? I have no idea. I feel no conviction either way. I think it's gonna be a good game. I don't know. Like it. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of points, but I don't. Like it's a night game. I don't see what the Bengals are going to do to stop them, so I'm like, I don't know how they're not going to score. They couldn't do anything last time. Maybe we're going to change their game plan. I would play more zone because last time you blitzed every play and it really didn't work for you. So we'll see what happens. It'll be a good game. I mean, hopefully Justin Tucker can make some kicks. No offense, Justin, but you have been really not good this year. It's getting a little scary. Like, Tom, we line up for 40-yarders, and I'm like, is he going to make this? Because, you know... It's a little scary. But Ravens can win this game. I can't wait for next week. You know what next week is, right, Tom? Tom, you know what next week is?
Week? No, I'm just kidding. Steeler week?
Steeler week, baby. Steeler week.
Stellar.
It's time to play. That's a beautiful game.
I mean, I'm happy.
I think
I'm
it is.
happy this week it's a bye week for the Packers, so I don't have to do anything.
Oh, hell yeah. Steeler week. Steeler week. I'm sorry. Steeler week.
Frank the Tank. All right, man. I'm going to sign off, though.
No, you're good. I'm out, too. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Likes is always appreciated, as always. Tom?
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Anchor down.